Germany has issued out another warning to Russia over the alleged poisoning of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas says the attack against Navalny must have consequences. Maas says he will start discussing the Franco-German proposal for sanctions. Berlin has time and again warned of sanctions if Moscow fails to provide answers about the poisoning. Germany says tests conducted at labs designated by the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons also confirm Navalny was the victim of a Soviet-era nerve agent. The Russian opposition leader was flown to Germany after falling ill in August. During a domestic flight, Moscow has rejected any involvement and slammed France and Germany for their push for sanctions. The Russian foreign minister last week also called the OPCW's findings a conspiracy scenario. Publisher and editor at Politics First, Marcus Papadopoulos joins us now from the British capital, London. Mr. Papadopoulos, welcome to the program. Give us your thoughts on where this case is heading.
Well, the timing of the incident concerning Alexei Navalny is most suspect because it falls at a time when the Russian government is nearing completion of the Nord Stream 2 project, which will see another Russian pipeline supplying Europe with Russian natural gas. And this project is opposed by the Americans. The Americans have made it very clear in public to both Germany and to other countries in Europe that they do not wish to see the Nord Stream 2 project come into force. Now, the Americans officially say they are opposed to it because it will mean that Europe will be, in their words, dangerously reliant on Russia for natural gas. But in truth, the real reason is the Americans are very well aware that the Nord Stream 2 project will accumulate a vast amount of revenue for the Russian government year on year. And the Americans are trying their very best to try and asphyxiate the Russian economy. Ever since 2014, the Americans have placed severe sanctions on the Russian economy. Why are the Americans trying to asphyxiate the Russian economy? Because Russia in 2020 is a superpower, and the Americans feel that their global hegemony is threatened by Russia. Now, as regards the German authorities, we can ask Berlin why they will not share their scientific and medical findings on Alexei Navalny with the Russian authorities. That is a very peculiar actuality, and it raises a great deal of suspicion. But I believe that we can take the Germans out of the equation because the German authorities are, after all, strategic friends and allies to the Americans, and the Americans are able to exert tremendous pressure on the German authorities. It is America who is behind this. The Americans, as I said just now, are attempting to scupper the Nord Stream 2 project, and they are using the German authorities to try and do this. And what I would say to the Germans is this: the German economy is in a very fragile condition at the moment, and the German economy, both in terms of German industry and also German households, require Russian natural gas. And Russia is not an enemy to Germany. And as regards to the American public, I would say this: Russia, nor for that instance Iran, is an enemy to you. Your enemy is your government and your mainstream media. And I would also say this to the American public, that what we have been seeing in the last few months in America is an internal enemy, by which I mean American people, young, old, children and elderly, have been subjected to shockingly depraved violence from at the hands of George Soros-funded BLM and Antifa movements. And yet the American government still has the audacity to say that countries such as Russia and Iran are enemies to the American people when they take no decisive action against what are terrorist groups such as BLM and Antifa. It is absolutely preposterous nonsense. As I said, the Iranian people are not an enemy to the American people. The Russian people are not an enemy to the American people. The American people need to look closer to home to discover who their true enemies are in this life.
All right, thanks a lot, Marcus Papadopoulos, joining us from the British capital, London.